Live from Wayne Prophet Court on the campus of the University of Lynchburg, you're watching Division III Women's College Basketball here on LHSN. Lynchburg Hornets play host to the Ferrum Panthers, two teams heading in opposite directions. Lynchburg looking to make it wins in 3 consecutive. Ferrum looking to avoid seeing their losing streak stretch out to 6 in a row. Thank you everybody for tuning in tonight. TJ Wingard here, take you through all the action. It's going to be an exciting one to say the least. It's the ODAC opener for Lynchburg. Ferrum comes in 0-1 in conference play. Here are some of the other stats coming into tonight. Ferrum 11th in the ODAC in points per game. On the other side, Lynchburg top 4 in the conference. We'll see if the Panthers can keep up with the Hornets. High-powered offense tonight. You see the shooting figures as well, especially from the three-point line. I think both these teams are going to be due for those numbers to positively regress tonight. And then the rebound battle certainly in favor for Lynchburg tonight. And there's a whole lot of talent to talk about for both these sides. Let's talk about the players to watch now. Starting with Ferrum, J.C. Marvin put up a showing in the last game at Emory. Team high 23 points, 4 of 6 from downtown. And Coach Allison Nichols before the game noted that Marvin can get hot and she can do it really quick. So certainly someone to keep your eye on for Ferrum. On the other side, someone who can get hot quick, Sammy Sever has been stellar this year, to put it simply. Led the team in scoring in 3 of their 4 games this year. She's touched 27 points twice this season in the season opener against Averett, as well as last game against NC Wesleyan. Let's talk about the coaches. It's Brian Harvey, 17th year head coach for Ferrum. Made the NCAA tournament 3 separate times. That was in 3 consecutive years, 2012, 13, and 14. And on the other side, first year head coach Allison Nichols. We talked about her spotlighting J.C. Marvin before the game, but she also highlighted a few other players for Ferrum. We'll save that for the rest of the broadcast, but Coach Nichols 2-0 at home, looking to make it 3-0 tonight. The stage is set. We'll present to you the starting lineups for both these sides to go along with our players to watch for the two teams. And I think a positive sign for Lynchburg, all players on the roster are suiting up tonight, so Brooke Vetter should see her sister Meredith touch the floor tonight for the first time all season long. Lizzie Davis, 3rd in the ODAC in scoring at 16.8 points per game, and then Aaron Green, Sarah Johnson do a whole lot down low. And we highlighted J.C. Marvin as the player to watch with Ferrum. Honorable mention then has to go to Kayla Cabanis, junior from Martinsville, Virginia. 2021 All-ODAC team and has played at least 28 minutes in every game this year. Players on the hardwood, Aaron Green, as well as Cameron Hawkins at midcourt. Tip is up. Lynchburg has the opening possession, and immediately Davis tries to find Sever, who steps on the baseline, and we have our first turnover of the day, 6 seconds into the contest. So let's talk about Sammy Sever. 20 points per game, that's second best in the ODAC. And I asked Coach Nichols before we got underway today, what has led to that? As a nice pass coming in from Cabanis, able to find the player down low. It was a nice find. Ferrum out in front, 2-0 early on. To continue my point about Sever, who has it here on the near side wing. Coach Nichols noted that she can score in so many different ways, and she's somebody who is in good condition, runs well, so the high-paced offense fits really well for her play style. But then additionally, she can shoot from beyond the arc. She can work well off of a screen, create for herself, works well off of teammates. So she finds ways to score a few points in a variety of different ways. The next thing you know, you look up at the scoreboard and she's tallied up 27. Like I said, she's done that twice this year. First 3-point shot of the day, nothing but nylon. And on cue, Sever puts Lynchburg ahead 3-2. Good to see the 3-point shot fall for Sever. 2 of 10 against NC Wesleyan from beyond the arc. Crossing right to left, the left hand off the side of the iron. Sarah Johnson gets an offensive rebound. Last time we saw Lynchburg at home, it was in a win against William Peace, 76-59. Sarah Johnson did a whole lot of work in the glass, team high 9 rebounds, 3 of which were offensive rebounds. So talking about Ferrum, have dropped 5 in a row. 1-5 start, 0-1 in conference play. The conference loss was against Washington and Lee, 79-61. The shot short. Came from Marvin. Seaver back the other way. Tacks the basket. Won't get the bucket, but does get the foul. And will head to the stripe for the first time today. Sammy Sever almost exclusively felt like the offense early on for Lynchburg. And she stands at the line, 73.9% free throw shooter. Lynchburg as a team shooting 75.5%. Good for first in the conference. And the broadcaster jinx comes in at the wrong moment if you're a Hornets fan. Stays a 3-2 score. Sever goes 1 for 2. Now a 2-point lead for the Hornets. Who went 7-1 at home last year. 2-0. Start the season. This win's coming against Averett and William Peace. Corner 3. Well strong coming from Asia Martin, junior from North Carolina. Back the other way. Lynchburg is out and running. Leading the way, Sammy Sever, or Sever, I beg your pardon, off the glass and in. 2-possession lead now for Lynchburg. Sarah Johnson denies the shot from Demisha Canada. An emphatic stuff. Lynchburg on the break. No numbers advantage, so Davis pulls back out, finds Sever. Has it ripped, for at least for a moment, from Marvin. Now Brooke Vetter, first field goal attempt. Won't go down as an official field goal attempt. She's fouled on the play and heads to the line for 2. And this should be a good confidence booster for Vetter. Played 22 minutes in all 4 games this year. Here's another look at the foul. In the season opener, Vetter 5 for 5 from the field. The next 3 games, 0 of 12. So it feels like one of those parts of the season just happened to come early on for Vetter where you get the opportunity to see a couple easy ones fall through. Touch the bottom of the net as Vetter goes 2 for 2. That'll do wonders for her confidence in trying to see more shots fall through the net. Sever's got 6. Vetter with the other 2. Zone defense for Lynchburg, 2-3. Green closes out in front of Martin, near side wing. Bounce pass, the feed goes to Cameron Hawkins. Shot no good, missing strong. Hawkins averaging more than 8 points a contest. Sever, heat check, 3 is short. Rebound gathered by Martin. We'll see Kate Cole check in for Lynchburg, the next dead ball. Hawkins back out to Marvin, shot fake, the long 2. Nice way for Marvin to try to create some space and an open look, but won't see it knocked down. Also see Olivia Harris check in for Lynchburg. Davis turns it over, trying to find Green. A couple of seniors that certainly garner a ton of attention when you talk about this Lynchburg team. Davis closes out, 3-point shot, rattles in for Asia Martin. Now up and over 31%. The shooter from beyond the arc. And this Lynchburg possession looks like Kayla Cabanis is coming up a little gimpy, favoring potentially her right ankle. Now looks a little better. There is a foul on the play. 3rd to go against Ferrum already. So we are 2 fouls away from putting Lynchburg in the bonus. Take another look at it. Green is showcasing some frustration on the back end of that play. Feels like a shot she has certainly practiced once or twice. Couldn't kiss it off the glass this time through, but an opportunity to earn the 2 at the line. Coming today, Green shooting 76.9% from the free throw line. Green will check out after going 2 for 2. Kate Cole on in her place. Full court pressure applied by the fresh sub, Olivia Harris, freshman from Salem, Virginia. Only about an hour away from Lynchburg. Hawkins picks up her dribble, has to swing it back out to Martin. Martin made a 3 a moment ago, attacks with the right hand. Floater won't fall. Sever works her way into the paint and goes up with a shot through the contact. And we'll head to the line for free throw attempts number 3 and 4. We talked about how Sever is just able to attack and score in a lot of different ways. We've seen her knock down a 3 already. We've seen her in transition, and here it's not fully fast break basketball, but it's not necessarily the half-court offense either. But even numbers for the most part. She just puts her heads down, finds the seam, goes to the basket, finds a way to absorb the contact. And that's a natural thing with basketball, finding ways to take some contact without it being too much. That way you can still get the shot off. But talking NBA basketball, the likes of James Harden have been doing it for years. And it's just an instinct. It's a natural element that not every basketball player is born with, but so far in the early goings at least, looks like Sever certainly has that trait. Foul away from the ball. It goes against Kate Cole. So she put her hands on the back of Jessie Bollinger, first time calling the junior's name. Native to Bedford, Virginia. And foul will send us to our first media timeout. So we will step aside and come back with more. Lynchburg out in front early on, 12-5 here on LHSN.
Today's a rough day. Jess and I are officially on a break. The couple canoe has broken up.
It's not.
How you feeling?
Living the dream.
Just canoeing. That's the Mexican side behind me. The U.S. is that way.
So far, we're all still alive.
I really want a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Woo! We did it! Kind of.
.454 left to be played in the opening quarter between the Hornets and the Panthers. ODAC opener for Lynchburg. Ferrum 0-1. Going to even out that conference record, have some early climbing to do. Down by 7. They do have possession coming out of the break. And it's going to be 5 seconds. And that is a mark, and I've talked about this if you're familiar with our LHSN broadcast. I've said it for both men's and the women's basketball team. It is just so hard to play full 30 seconds of defense. And you could argue it's just as hard to play a good smothering 5 seconds of inbound defense. As what a nice finish there from Kate Kolb. Stretches the lead up to 9. Kolb with her first 2, but being able to defend and take away all passing options for 5 seconds on the inbound, that is a rarity to say the least. Really speaks to how much Lynchburg has bought in on the defensive side. It can be complicated. You're going to see this team run a variety of zones, trying to keep teams on their toes. It has certainly paid dividends. Lynchburg currently 6th in the ODAC and points allowed per game, and that's with this team playing high tempo like they do here out in front. Sever going to head back the line. It's J.C. Marvin trying to make the play, trailing from behind, and called for the foul. 5th to go against Ferrum. So we will see Lynchburg shooting 2 free throws for the rest of the first quarter. Johnson out, Green is in. Age Martin checks back in for Ferrum. And getting the break is J.C. Marvin. Sever knocks down the first. Lead reaches double figures for the first time tonight. Lynchburg now 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Attempt number 9 coming momentarily. And once again, said the first time, the broadcaster jinx on cue. Early on, Lynchburg's defense has held Ferrum 2 of 10 shooting from the field. Martin lines up another 3. She's got the lone trifecta so far for the Panthers. This one won't fall. Nice find. Sever for Harris. 2 more for the Hornets. Harris, game of the day, averaging 7.5 points per game. And on the receiving end of the pass, Camille Mangum stepped on the sideline, Another turnover to go against Ferrum. Fourth on the night to go against the Panthers. Three and a half minutes to go in the opening quarter of play. Harris open for three. Indeed. Harris goes on a 5-0 run, and Taylor Gant, who just checked in immediately. The high IQ play gets the steal on the inbound. Can't finish on the layup, but she will head to the line for free throws. 11 and 12 of the first quarter for the Hornets. There it is again. Gant sees the inbounder in distress. Look like Demisha Canada. Then ultimately Gant jumps the pass and knocks down the first. Does so again on the second. Gets her first 2 points on the evening. 17-point lead for Lynchburg. As strong a start as you could have imagined. Alexis Miller on the far side wing. Back up top, it's with Mangum. Shot clock at 8. Foul is called. It'll go against Brooke Vetter. Just the second foul to go against Lynchburg, so Ferrum has a ways to go to try to work their way into the bonus. Inbound from underneath the basket. Cameron Hawkins turns to the contest, checks in for Canada. Hawkins, a regular to starting lineup like she was today. All but 5 games in her career she has been in the starting lineup for Ferrum. Those 5 games came as she was a freshman. Here works herself into a good position. Ends the scoring drought for Ferrum. Pass to Cole. She gets tangled up with Bollinger. Jump ball called, alternating possession. We'll have Ferrum take over. Talked about it a moment ago. Lynchburg, a team that primarily runs zone defense, but we see Harris not afraid to pick up Cabanis. Full length of the hardwood. Mid-range J from Hawkins, well short. Harris has her pass deflected. Fortunately for Lynchburg, Gant there to reset the offense. Zone defense as well for Ferrum. You see Lynchburg trying to exploit it with the high-low. Kolb found Green. Green wanted the foul, won't get it. Bollinger, Cabanis. Miller back to Mangum. She'll drive with the right hand, kick it out. Hawkins just in front of the three-point line. A heave coming from Cabanis off the back of the iron, and rebound gathered by Kolb. Crossover from Vetter. She's got 2 points tonight, both from the free throw line, and Harris is called for the travel. Tough habit to break there for basketball players. As soon as you receive the pass, you want to get that step into motion, but got to remember to get that dribble down. Fourth turnover to go against Lynchburg. That's been the one statistical category you might look at early on in the year and point to as something that Lynchburg is looking to improve upon, to put it politely. 21.5 turnovers per game. That's 7th in the ODAC, which overall you can live with being middle of the conference considering the tempo you play with on the offensive side. And the turnover mark hasn't reached what it was in the opener against Averett at 30 or higher. Nice defensive stand. The miss comes from Cabanis. Vetter out in front with the right hand. Knocks down her first field goal since the season opener. Vetter now with 4. All 5 players for Ferrum on that possession. The same half the court. Now we see Miller try to swing it out to the far end. 3-point shot long from Mangum off the hands of Green. He's going to stay with Ferrum, and subs will check in. Sammy Severin for Lynchburg. Asia Martin and J.C. Marvin check in for Ferrum with just under 16 seconds left in the first quarter. Inbound goes to Martin. Hands it off to Marvin. Senior has to beat the clock. 1 second on the shot clock, and shot did not touch the iron. Don't know if it was deflected off a Lynchburg defender. Either way, shot clock violation serves as another turnover to go against Ferrum. 7.2 seconds to play in the first quarter. Gant lets it roll to half court. 2 defenders step up. They get it to Johnson down low, and right-handed layup. A fitting way to bring it close to the first 10 minutes of action. It's been all Lynchburg so far, 26-7 through the first quarter. We'll step aside, come back with the second set of 10 minutes between the Hornets and the Panthers, coming to you here on LHSN. Time for the second quarter from Lynchburg, Virginia. Hornets out in front by 19, and they have possession to open up the second quarter of play. Lizzie Davis is not a name we've had to call a whole lot today. Vetter, shot fake, back out to the senior Davis. Pirouettes along the baseline, easy find. Aaron Green with an easy finish. The lead reaches 21. To sum up the first quarter in maybe 2 sentences, you have to be careful. There's only 10 minutes have been played. It's a very small sample size, but it feels like it tells the story early on. Best individual field goal percentage for Ferrum, 33%. Cameron Hawkins and Demisha Canada both 1 for 3. Outside of the 0 for 1 Aaron Green mark, the next lowest individual field goal percentage for Lynchburg is 50%. Brooke Vetter 1 for 2. Again, we're talking about small numbers and a very small sample size. But that kind of says it all. Anybody who's wanted to score for Lynchburg early on has been able to do so. For Ferrum, it's been a little harder to come by. But a chance to try to improve upon that 3 of 17 team shooting mark for Ferrum here into the second quarter. It feels like this could be a point in the game where Panthers try to pivot, work more on the inside. Not that they took a whole lot of three-point shots compared to their field goal percentage. 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. Took 17 shots from the field. It's a pretty average ratio for modern college basketball. But you might see Ferrum start to pivot and try to work the ball inside a little bit more, which is a little hard to do against a zone defense. Hawkins, 4 seconds on the shot clock, called for the travel. That's been the other tough stat to shake. Now 7 turnovers to go against the Panthers. And what's really been detrimental is those Now 7 turnovers have led to 14 points the other way for Lynchburg. That's half of their entire total on the night. Additionally, Lynchburg 12-0 advantage in fast break points. Four out, 1 in offense for the Hornets. Aaron Green lines up 3, nothing but nylon. Second trifecta to go this year for Green. She came in today 1 for 12. But here on Wednesday, December 1st, she's 1 for 1. And a long possession for Ferrum. Hawkins to the free throw line, drives in, working against Johnson, who can't believe she was called for the foul, but we're going to see Cameron Hawkins head to the line, but first we'll let you decide at home. Certainly look close. Hawkins, 68.8% free throw shooter on the season. And coming off worst shooting performance of her season, 1 of 9 from the field at Emory. Here goes 2 for 2 from the stripe and makes it 22-point game. By the way, for those wondering, tonight's officials, Scott Witt, Stephanie Howard, and Sam Allen. Lizzie Davis still without any points so far, but has been distributing the basketball at a high rate. Sarah Johnson tries to go up and around. Won't go this time around. Sever gets her hands on it, knocks it towards the Lynchburg bench. That'll allow Kate Kolb to check back in, coming in for Aaron Green. Asia Martin also, she was already out on the court. Ferrum just shuffling players around. I beg your pardon. Inbound goes to Martin. Cabanis drives in, tries to go off the glass, gets the offensive rebound, and the put back 2. First second chance points we've seen from either team, actually, tonight. Sever for 3. Missing short, stays with it. Tries to tap it off the body to Misha Canada, who's actually really good hand-eye coordination skills there. Catches the basketball. But possession is going to go back to Lynchburg. Vetter will check out. Olivia Harris comes on. And I know I started this quarter by talking about how you can sum this game up in 2 sentences. That play almost feels like it kind of sums it up as well. Ferrum gets a stop and doesn't really matter. Still finds a way to get back to the Hornets offense, which has been clicking so far, shooting 52.9% from the field. Johnson had the bounce pass skip up on Kolb, and she could not handle it. Goes out of play. 6th turnover for Lynchburg. Additionally, playing at the same time is the Lynchburg men's basketball team. We'll keep you up to date on that game as we go along through this broadcast. Road contest at Washington and Lee, currently 20-16, right around midway through the first. Hawkins drives in, evades 2 defenders. Nice finish off the glass and in. Hawkins now with 6, and Harris is called for the double dribble. See the Lynchburg bench picking up their freshmen. It's tough. You try to make that transition to the college level. You're learning the plays, but also learning how to play within this high-tempo offense, and sometimes travels and double dribbles, those, call it freshman mistakes, no matter how cliche it is, they happen. And this is the perfect setting for Harris to try to knock those out of her game. So once we get to, say, Roanoke on December 11th, that's a big game just over a week away. You hope that Harris doesn't make those same mistakes. Davis gets it to Kolb. No shot. Instead, senior from Morris Plains, New Jersey, called for the travel. Ferrum so far winning the second quarter, 8-5. Hawkins, corner three, off the top of the backboard, battling for the offensive rebound as Canada stays with it. Little soft in the mid-range J. Now a third attempt coming from Cabanis, and she will draw the foul. Looks like it's going to be called on Kate Kolb, and it is indeed. So a couple of offensive rebounds. Leads to a few more chances for Ferrum. Wasn't sure if the foul was going to be on shot attempt. It's not, so instead inbound from underneath the basket. Martin against Harris, right underneath the basket. Off the glass and in for two. Give her the foul and the opportunity to make it the old-fashioned three-point play. And Ferrum quietly going on a little run here. Cutting the deficit down to 14. At one point, it was 31-7. A 24-point Lynchburg lead. And it's now an 11-0 Ferrum run. In a very sneaky way, putting the Panthers right back into it. We're right around the midway point of the second quarter. Sever back to Harris, tries her luck with another three, rattles it home. That's the way to silence a double-digit run from your opponent. Looks like it was poked from behind by Davis and out of play. That'll send us to our under 5-minute media timeout. 34-18 your score from Wayne Prophet Court. Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum here on LHSN.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
Out of the timeout, Ferrum has possession. Just under 5 minutes to go until we reach halftime. Only a 16-point Hornets advantage. Going to start ODAC play at 1-0. Hawkins just outside the restricted circle. Can't knock down the tough shot. Looks the trees. 3 defenders there for Lynchburg. Sever drives in. Left-handed layup is true. And Gant does it again. Swipes the inbound pass, won't finish. The first time round she got fouled here. No whistle on the play. The free throw line stepping back. Cabanis, 4 points so far, won't get 2 more with it. Gant quickly hits the brakes, gives to Davis, and the senior has her first 2 points on the evening, and she's going to head to the line, trying to convert the and one. Davis has done a whole lot of the distributing tonight. Tougher word to say than you might think. But now an opportunity to do some work on the scoring side herself. Can't convert on the free throw. Kolb battling for the offensive rebound. Instead, jump ball called. This will give it to the Panthers. 20-point Lynchburg lead. Martin drives in. Shot blocked by Erin Green. She's got a block at every game this season. That trend continues. Unselfish basketball the other way. The 3-on-1 executed perfectly. And it's Sever benefiting with 2 more to her total. She's got a game-high 13. And Ferrum, the offensive side, not on the same page. Commit the turnover. Offensive rebound. Kolb once again called for a travel. Timeout on the floor called by head coach Brian Harvey in his 17th year at Ferrum. We're going to keep it here. Talking about the resume a little bit for Coach Harvey. Talked about on the open of the broadcast. Led Ferrum to 3 consecutive NCAA tournaments from 2012 to 2014. Prior to becoming the head coach at Ferrum, was the head coach at Glenvar High School in Roanoke, Virginia. Not all that far away from Ferrum. Won 2 state titles. Overall win 133. 73. That's a win percentage at 64.6% in his 8 seasons at the helm. Overall won 2 district coach of the years, 2 region coach of the years, 2 VHSCA coach of the year awards, a Virginia Associated Press coach of the year award 1997. You get the picture. Had an impressive tenure there, to say the least. Glenvar High School. And been a long-time head coach at Ferrum. Joining him on the bench is his wife, Karen Harvey. He's actually also women's lacrosse coach, which is certainly no easy task. Try to coach 2 separate sports. I can only imagine what that Google Calendar might look like. And actually, Ferrum announced today the addition of a new assistant coach, Elise Kiplocks. Used to play at Charleston Southern, Division I school in the Big South Conference. Kiplocks now joins the staff after playing professionally overseas in Australia, England, and Spain. So, welcome addition to the staff, and congratulations in order for Coach Kiplocks. 3 minutes to go till we reach the break. Olivia Harris with a good read. Gets the steal. Sever the lead man. Lead woman, I should say, for Lynchburg on the break. And draws the foul and heads back to the free throw line. We've seen Sever there already doing a whole lot of damage. Take another look at the foul going against Martin. Free throws 7 and 8 on the night for Sever. Missing on the first. For some context, Ferrum as a team has 3 free throw attempts. Sever goes 1 for 2. And boosts her total up to 14 points on the night. She set a career high in the season opener against Averett with 27, I beg your pardon. And then was right behind Lizzie Davis. Second most points in second game of the year at Mary Washington. Led the way in scoring against William Peace, then had another 27 in the big 2-point road win for Lynchburg at North Carolina Wesleyan. Final score of 63-61. That came back on Tuesday the 16th. Been a long time since Lynchburg's touched the hardwood. Not quite as long for Ferrum. Last game they played was November 21st, but with Thanksgiving this past week, which, by the way, hope you all had a fantastic Thanksgiving. Got the opportunity to spend the day however you like with friends, family, or watching football. Hopefully it was a relaxing time for you. But to continue my point, it's tough, and I talked to Coach Nichols about this. It's tough to try to balance what you do over this break time because you want players to try to reset, and obviously a lot of players don't live in Lynchburg. They're trying to go home, see their family. And you want to afford them that time, but you also need to be able to come back and be ready to go in a meaningful game. And Lynchburg doesn't look like they missed many beats. Turnover total at 10. You like to see that a little bit lower, but hasn't really gotten out of hand so far today. Nice drive and an even better finish. Cabanis, Martinsville, Virginia native, now up to 6. Ties here for a team high with Asia Martin and Cameron Hawkins. So it's been a balanced attack so far for Ferrum. They find themselves down by 21, make it 24. Shooters roll. Sever up to 17. Knocking on the door of setting a new career high. Just 10 points away from tying that 27-point total she's hit twice this season. Sever open for three, indeed. Lynchburg has found the soft spots in the zone, and feels like Sammy Sever almost always the player occupying that open space. Now 2 of 4 from beyond the arc. Make it 3 of 5 from downtown. Game high 20 points. Still with just under a minute to go now in the first half. Shot clock at 10. Cabanis drives in, nice find. Free throw line jumper, no good for Canada. About a 4-second differential between shot and game clock. It won't matter here. Now it's down to about a 1.2-second differential between shot and game clock. And Ferrum has the opportunity to bleed out most of the remaining clock in the first half. And a chance for the Panthers to end the first half. Some positive momentum. They open up the second quarter, and at one point we're winning the quarter, 8-5. Then it got up to 10-5, and with this miss from Canada, it'll go down as a win for Lynchburg, 21-13. Minimum opportunity to add more. 14 seconds left until we reach the break. Sever with another three-point shot, missing short, rolling off the top of the backboard, stopping the clock with 9.2 in the first half, that is. So Ferrum will get the final shot. After all, Martin forced to pick up her dribble. Long heave coming from Cabanis, and it is short, bringing to close the first 20 minutes of action between Lynchburg and Ferrum. Hornets out in front of the Panthers by 27. Don't go anywhere. Plenty more to watch. We'll take a pause, come back with some halftime stats from the first half of play. You're watching Lynchburg and Ferrum here on LHSN.
Be ready for anything, okay?
Come on, let's go together! Together, let's go! Come on! Let's go, keep going! Sorry, that's the best to it.
Straight?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Cool. Good one. All right, guys, you see the meat grinder down here? Stay in the boat. Let's go.
on, camera?
Oh, what'd you think of that? Woo!
My name is Joshua Carr. I am a senior. I am a theater major as well as a history minor. I live in 5th Street, the historic black neighborhood. The money came in, transfer, scholarship, all that. I appreciate that greatly. I'm smart too. So they gave it like, you smart, here. You know what I'm saying? You come here to do a job. I came here to do a job. A student's job is to get that degree and make something of ourselves. I love the diversity here. I love the different interests of people here. I can teach somebody that doesn't know what I know, and that person can teach me something that I don't know that they know. So that's what I love about my school. They respect that and they allow us to showcase and voice our expressions. That's what you get here. You get diversity, you get different people with different knowledge coming together, sharing information and helping each other out. That's what I love. That's why I say people. I love the people here.
Halftime from Turner Gymnasium, 47-20 your score. Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. TJ Wingert here, taking you through all the action. Let's go run through the stats of the first 20 minutes of play. And it was certainly a one-sided affair, and I think the numbers would tell that similar story. Relatively even when it comes to turnovers, but what has then transpired in points off of turnovers has been a little lopsided. But it did even out a little bit in the second quarter, 18-14 overall through the first half. At the end of the first quarter, it was a 14-5 Lynchburg advantage. So with that slow start for the Hornets in the onset of the second quarter, Ferrum was able to bring that number a little bit closer to even. But you look at the field goal percentage, the three-point shooting percentage, it tells you a whole lot. What you don't see on your screen is the free throw attempts. Just 3 for Ferrum, and they're 3 for 3, which you love to shoot 100% from the free throw line, but you need to get there with more quantity for it to matter more than just 3 points on your night. But Ferrum's had a tough way working inside the paint. They've had a hard time trying to get shots inside the painted area, and that's going to be a common thing you hear me say throughout the year, working against a Lynchburg defense that features Sarah Johnson, Aaron Green, Kate Kolb, just to name a few players. And then on the other side, continuing our free throw conversation, Lynchburg 11 of 15 from the stripe, so they're shooting a good percentage, 73.3%, a little bit below their season average, but still a healthy mark, and they're getting the free throw line at a good pace. They're doing it very frequently, so that is a positive sign to go on top of 6 of 10 shooting from beyond the arc. Not only are they knocking them down, but they are getting a lot of good quality open looks. On the other side, Ferrum 1 of 10, so an equal number of attempts, but nowhere near as efficient. 8 of 35 shooting from the field for Ferrum to 15 of 26 for the Hornets. They additionally have a big lead in the rebound category, 23-15. Those were the stats. We'll step aside, come back with some highlights from the first half of action. We'll talk a little bit about some adjustments both sides could make. All that more coming to you here on LHSN.
When you come to the University of Lynchburg to earn a master's degree in athletic training, you'll spend time in the classroom, but you'll also spend a lot of time in our top-notch facilities, learning from athletic trainers and working closely with our student athletes. In the Graduate Cadaver Lab, you'll learn about the human body in the best way possible, by actually studying the human body. This will provide a foundation to make you a much better athletic trainer. In the Athletic Training Laboratory, you'll get hands-on experience, practicing your skills, applying concepts from the classroom, and working with faculty on research projects. It's also where our hydrotherapy facilities are. This space is also used by students for studying and practicing skills outside of class time. In the Sports Medicine Clinic in Turner Gymnasium, you'll work with student athletes from more than 20 NCAA Division III sports teams, helping get them back to practice and into the game as soon as possible. As an athletic training student, you're a big part of the success of our sports teams and the success of the local athletic teams. We see this relationship as a win-win situation. You learn, and that helps us win.
Welcome back to Lynchburg, Virginia, right around midway through our halftime intermission. 47-20, Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum. Hornets looking to improve to 3-0 at home this season as start conference play at 1-0. Ferrum, a lot of work to do in the second half, trying to battle back down 27. Here are some of the highlights from that first half. We'll talk about some of the individual performances as these highlights play. Game high scorer, Sammy Sever, 20 points, 6 of 10 from the field, 3 of 6 from downtown, 5 of 8 shooting from the free throw line, got an assist and a rebound, 2 assists, and 1 rebound to go along with that. Second highest scorer is Olivia Harris with 8 points. The freshman's looked pretty impressive outside of a couple of freshman mistake turnovers, a travel and a double dribble in there, but perfect from the field, 3 of 3 and then 2 for 2 from beyond the arc. Aaron Green has 7 points and 3 rebounds to go with it. 4 points for Brooke Fetter, close there behind. And then you have to talk about some of the dirty work. Kate Cole, 5 rebounds, just 2 points, but racking up the rebound total, as is Sarah Johnson and Mimi Oliver, both of which have 4 rebounds so far. On the other side for Ferrum, Kayla Cabanis, 6 points, tied for a team best with Asia Martin and Cameron Hawkins. Cabanis, though, 0-4 from beyond the arc, so there is some potential if she starts to see a couple of those shots knocked down in the second half for her scoring total to certainly improve. Asia Martin, 2 of 7 from the field, 1 of 7 from beyond the arc. She was really the lead scoring option of the first quarter, and then that cooled off once we got in the latter portions of the first half. Cameron Hawkins was a big part of the mix throughout the entire first quarter and had a tough go at it, working inside the painted area against those bigs that we talked about in the first segment. Additionally, one more stat I wanted to make mention here during halftime. Lynchburg, 6 of 10 shooting the basketball from beyond the arc. In the last 2 games, they've gone combined 6 of 41. That's 14.6%. So certainly a big improvement tonight and a big part of the reason Lynchburg finds themselves up by 27. Here are some of the scores from around the ODAC conference for women's basketball. Bridgewater up 34-10 at half against Eastern Mennonite. We also have Guilford and Randolph underway. Looks like that game is close to its conclusion of the first half. It's 29-20. And then Hollins and Roanoke, 19-17 Roanoke with the early lead over Hollins. You also have Virginia Wesleyan playing host to Randolph-Macon, and it is currently a 30-18 Yellow Jackets lead. One final score I want to update you on. At halftime, Lynchburg men's basketball leading Washington and Lee 45-38. We'll continue to give you the score updates as the night progresses. We're going to step aside one final time, then come back with second half action and talk adjustments for both sides. Don't go anywhere. We're minutes away from the second half, getting underway between Lynchburg and Ferrum.
If I'm walking around over on the crowd side, I always hear someone yelling, "Hey Nat, take our picture. Hey Nat, get this," or something, or "Hey Nat, you got that shot?" Like, so I'm always like trying to photograph the crowds and my friends calling my name. I think sports at Lynchburg unifies us as a whole. No matter what background we come from, what differences we have, and what experience we've experienced through our lives, it brings us all together and we have one goal, which is to win. As a photographer, I definitely get to capture the emotion and the feel and the atmosphere of what's going on during the games and what's happening in the crowd and with the fans. We have hugely dedicated fans here at Lynchburg. They come out whether it's rain, snow, sleet, windy, no matter what. Like, they will come out and support their team and cheer them on. They will sit through anything. It's just, it brings us all together as one.
Moments away from the second half, getting underway between the Hornets of the University of Lynchburg and the Panthers from Ferrum. Lynchburg out in front by 27. TJ Weird here, taking you through all the action here on the Lynchburg Hornets Sports Network. Once again, thank you all for spending some time with us on your Wednesday night. Lynchburg on the verge of improving to 3-0 at home and starting conference play at a 1-0 mark. That's the goal for every team once they get into conference season. Meanwhile, for Ferrum, currently in danger of seeing that losing streak extend to 6 consecutive losses in starting conference play at 0-2. But 20 minutes left to be played for these two teams. So let's talk about some of the adjustments both sides could make, starting with Ferrum. And ultimately, I think a lot of it's a confidence and a momentum part of this game. And we saw Panthers going on an 11-0 run towards the end of the first quarter and at the onset of the second quarter. And it felt like that was the most fluid and comfortable we've seen Ferrum look all night long. And if the Panthers can see a couple shots knocked down from inside the painted area, maybe a three-point shot to go with it, I feel like the confidence will go back up, and then Ferrum can start to work positively forward in that direction. It doesn't help here. After getting a stop, Lynchburg immediately regains possession. Put-back opportunity, Brooke Vetter, no good. Corrals another offensive rebound, and the Hornets give it to Lizzie Davis, and Lynchburg will reset. And this segues perfectly into my talking points for Lynchburg. More of the same. You control the glass, shoot the ball as efficiently as you have. It's tough to beat this team, especially when they have a 27-point cushion. Foul on the play goes against Sarah Johnson. First of the second half. Additionally, one more note for Lynchburg. If they can continue to work in transition as fluid as they have tonight, 17-2 advantage in fast break points. That is unbelievable. And really what it signals to me is a lot of these players are getting comfortable in Coach Allison Nichols' idea of how to play basketball in that up-tempo nature. It helps when you have players like Aaron Green with enough touch to kiss it off the glass like that and stretch your lead up to 29. But Lynchburg, game by game, is getting more and more comfortable with getting rebound, immediately looking for outlet, finding Davis, Gantz, Sever, whoever. And then plays just like that. You create 2-on-2, 3-on-2, 3-on-1 we saw in the first half. Favorable scoring opportunities. And then with players like Davis, Gantz, Sever, whoever you want to, Olivia Harris, whatever guard you want to pick out, having them feel comfortable to make that final read, dump it off, or keep it themselves and get easy looks at the basket. And that's how you drop 51 points just a minute and a half or so into the second half. That tangent aside, Ferrum has it underneath the basket. Inbound goes to Martin, one of 3 players tonight with 6 points for Ferrum. Wanted the foul there, won't get it. Brooke Vetter out on the break. Goes up with a shot from outside the restricted circle. Draws the foul. Lynchburg's done a great job getting the free throw line. These will be attempts 16 and 17 on the night. Lynchburg came to the day 9th in the ODAC. Free throw attempts at 98 on the year, but first in free throw percentage. Tonight they have had both the quantity and a high percentage of them fallen. A little break in the action. And now Vetter will step to the free throw line. 50% shooter from the stripe coming into tonight's play. Misses on the first. This is her second trip to the free throw line this evening with 2 for 2 in her first trip. Goes 0 for 2 here, staying true to that 50% mark. On the near side wing, it looked like Kayla Cavadas was open on the wing. Nearly a turnover created by Davis. Cavadas lays off. Hawkins denied by Aaron Green. Green has a knack timing up her approach just right. Those long arms. Standing at 6'3", the Poolesville, Maryland native. Just a natural-born shot blocker, and you see it on display there. Now on the offensive side. Gives it to Johnson, shot fake. Can't convert on the right-handed layup. Martin drives in. It's the body contact against Green. Second foul to go against Lynchburg. Martin heads to the free throw line for her second and third attempt on the night. Just got to step on her defender, force Green to step up, and she's also inside the restricted circle. So any contact that comes there will be a defensive foul. First miss of the night for Martin from the free throw line. She's now 1 for 2. We'll see her take her third attempt here in a moment. Martin's played at least 20 minutes in every game this year, 10-plus points in 4 of the 6. The last game against Emory, 4 of 14 shooting from the field, 1 of 7 three-point land, and those shooting woes have carried over tonight. Sever working against Martin. Gets the foul called on the junior from Winston-Salem. Inbound to Kolb. Over to Harris, looking for her third three. That's actually instead her first miss of the night. Foul on the play is Davis. Working down low, and Davis and Sever both have this nature to them that Coach Nichols talked about before the game, where they can score in a lot of different ways, and they're crafty players. But they're also just two players that outwork everyone. Those were the words Coach Nichols used. Outwork everyone. If there's a ball loose on the floor, she's floored to not see one of the two of them, if not both of them, one of the first two players trying to scoop it up. And you kind of see it on that play. Davis able to try to keep it in, and nothing really to show for it on the Lynchburg side. Instead, on the other end, it's a bucket in the foul for Ferrum. Kayla Cabot's nice finish there through the contact, but point stands. Lynchburg with some hustle players. That'll make the difference in plenty of close games down the stretch. Here's another look at from Cabot. Now a team-high 9 points. She knocks down her first free throw attempt on the evening. Through the first half of play, Ferrum only had 3 free throw attempts, and here in sort of 3 minutes of the second half, already garnered 3 more. Lead at 27 for Lynchburg. Harris for Green. Draws the attention of 3 defenders, and like Sever stepped on the baseline. 14th turnover for Lynchburg. J.C. Marvin was our player to watch. Swing pass, far end of the court. Martin lines up the 3, leaves it short. Shot denied. Canada won't get the put-back buckets. Instead, get it back out. Cabinets for 3, nothing but nylon. Junior starting to heat up here in the third quarter of play. She's now 1 of 5 from beyond the arc. That first 3-point shot to go moves her into double figures with 12. Sever looking for help, finds Harris, shot clock at 10. Screen left for Davis. Left-handed layup. An impressive finish there from Davis. Remember the track and field team, and in full sprint, able to knock that shot down. Unorthodox, but nonetheless worth 2 points all the same. Davis is going to check out now and bring Taylor Gant on in her place. Or so it looked. Actually, maybe Olivia Harris that's checking out, and that is indeed the actual case on her hands. Harris to the bench, and it's Davis chatting with Coach Nichols. Gavin is back at the free throw line, 65.2% free throw shooter entering tonight's play. And goes 2 for 2, stays perfect from the line, and now has 14. Davis again on the screen. Working against Cabinets, who's been heating up. Davis gets 2 of her own. Kick out to Marvin for three indeed. She's a sharpshooter, and Coach Nichols talked about this Ferrum team. When you let them knock down shots from downtown, that's when they'll get hot and they'll do it quick. If you're a Hornets fan, you're hoping not to see that come to fruition here in the third quarter. Lynchburg immediately answers right back. Two more for Erin Green. She's in the double figures with 13. Three-point shot from Martin, knocked down from the far end corner. And all of a sudden we have a track meet. Sever called on the offensive foul. Martin draws the charge. Nice sequence for Asia Martin. The foul will send us to a media timeout. We'll step aside and come back with more. Lynchburg ahead by 22 with 4:49 left to go in the third quarter.
I was looking for a school that could provide me with the athletics, academics to pursue my career, a wind symphony to pursue my passion for music, and really have a nice general atmosphere. The professors here are really unique, their background and their passion for teaching. It's really a place where you can explore. Lynchburg gives you the opportunity to fail, but also get back up in that period of time and learn from your mistakes. I can make these mistakes within the school environment, but also with the support of other friends, and be ready for the real world when you graduate.
57-35, your score from Wayne Profit Court. Lynchburg out in front of Ferrum. Here on LHSN, Panthers with possession coming out of the break. We said this at the beginning of the second quarter, but Ferrum so far winning the quarter. Davis able to keep it in. Might have been a self-pass. Could have called that a travel, and instead, fantastic defense. An immaculate ability to keep the ball in. Leads to 2 points the other way for Lizzie Davis. She's now got 8. Stepping into the three. Cabanis knocks it down. Her second three ball to fall. Working quick. Wraparound layup. 2 more for Sammy Sever. Potential career high watch. She's got 22, 5 away from tying her career high. Bollinger takes her dribble. Cabanis leaves the layup off the front of the rim. Sever in transition. Left-handed layup no good. Put back. And the foul for Erin Green. And that's another one of the big advantages Green gives this Lynchburg team. She's a great shot blocker. She can finish in the painted area like she does here through the contact, but she's the second player down the floor for Lynchburg. Not many bigs across the country, men's or women's basketball, are that fluid and smooth and able to move that quick in transition. Green is one of those exceptions to the rule, and it pays dividends here. Converting on the three-point play and stretching the lead up to 26. Nice shot fake. Cross-court pass from Hawkins. Shot clock down to 8. Looking underneath the basket. Turnaround hook shot. Misses it all for Hawkins. Another display of fantastic defense for Lynchburg. And on the other end, Olivia Harris, the easiest 2 points on her night. Harris reaches double figures for the first time since the Mary Washington game, where she had 11. Did not play against North Carolina Wesleyan. Cabanis, nothing but nylon. Both sides have been running zone defenses, and we're starting to see Cabanis go in that run where we saw Sammy Sever heat up on towards the end of the first half, where she could just step into a three in the open spot against a zone defense and knock it down with confidence. 2.5 to go in the third quarter. Now you're seeing Harris step up and play. Cabinet's true through that zone. 3-on-1 the other way for Lynchburg. Davis for Gantz. Layup no good. Offensive rebound for Harris, and Lynchburg earns a second possession. Eighth offensive rebound for the Hornets. Davis drives in, gets the foul. All told, the rebound advantage at 34-22. And it is an 8-7 offensive rebound advantage, which is really impressive because Lynchburg shooting almost 55% from the field and Ferrum shooting 28.6%. All that to say, there's been more missed shots to go around, and that normally inflates the offensive rebound total, but that's still an area of an advantage for the Hornets. Really impressive. First free throw no good for Davis with 8 points so far tonight. Came into the evening third in the ODAC, averaging just under 17 points per contest. It was 0 for 2 here. Rare couple of misses for Davis, shooting almost 80% free throw line before today's game. Bollinger lays off for Canada. Soft kiss off the glass and in. Pick and pop with Vetter. A little bit of English from Davis. She works herself into double figures. Third Hornet to reach the mark. Sever leads the way with 24, and then it's Green with 14. Cabinets all day from the top of the key. And a timeout called by Coach Allison Nichols. Minute 15 to go. And it'll be stretched to immediate timeout, so we will step aside and come back with the final 75 seconds of the third quarter, I beg your pardon. 68-46, your score. Lynchburg out in front.
The biggest thing that I've taken from Westover is probably my interactions with faculty. I started working with Dr. Fryer. He's always available for help, and he makes sure that I get to do the experiments and not just be there while he does them. I didn't want to limit myself when I came here to just taking the prereqs for med school. I wanted to get a full, well-rounded education, and I definitely found that in the Westover program. It's given me the opportunity to keep playing soccer at a competitive level, but also it's given me the ability to be a student and to pursue other activities such as EMS. I 100% do Westover because it's not something they're going to regret, and it's going to be a lot of work, but so is everything else. It's just going to help build their education that they've already had and make them a better person for it.
Welcome back. Third quarter nearing its conclusion, and then we'll be on to the final stanza. 22-point lead for Lynchburg. Won both the first and second quarter, and currently actually trail in the third quarter by 4 points, 23-19. Which is a little bit opposite of what we saw at North Carolina Wesleyan, where Lynchburg actually lost 3 of the 4 quarters. The only quarter they won was the third, outscoring the Battling Bishops 18-10, and it was enough to overcome the deficits they found themselves in the first, second, and fourth quarter, and ultimately enough to pick up the 2-point win. And it was a wild game against NC Wesleyan. 12 lead changes, a couple of ties. It was a big win against a team pegged to win the USA Southeast Division, and doing so on the road. Here in Lynchburg, it's Brooke Vetter at the free throw line. Knocking down the first for 2 attempts. Goes 1 for 2, stays at 5 points. Another offensive rebound for Sarah Johnson. Near sideline. Freshly checked in. Camille Mangum as well. Darcy Ross going at it on the near sideline. Burkvetter comes away with the steal. Will take it herself in transition and picks up another foul. And we'll head back to the free throw line, where she just was. First foul to go against Camille Mangum, senior from Ringgold, Virginia. Mimi Oliver checks back in. Comes on for Sarah Johnson. Offensive rebound for the aforementioned Oliver. Trying to get it to Sever. Pass deflected away by Demisha Canada. It stays with Lynchburg. Shot clock is turned off. 22.5 seconds to play in the third. I do want to apologize. I said Darcy Ross earlier. It was actually Hannah Clay. First time calling her name all season long. Her and Meredith Vetter, players freshly activated after starting the year injured. Another offensive rebound for the Hornets. They will stay with it for the final possession. Through the traffic, Davis draws another foul and becomes another Hornet to head to the free throw line. Attempts number 25 and 26 on the way. The percentage has certainly lowered throughout the third quarter. Overall, 13 of 24 shooting from the free throw line. That's 52.4%. Davis went 0 for 2 earlier in the third from the stripe. Chance to reconcile the missed opportunity earlier. Instead goes 1 for 2 here. Poked away, picked up by Vetter. 3-point heave from Davis. Misses strong. And she'll end the third quarter with 11 points. And the Hornets end the third up by 24. 70-46. We'll step aside, come back with the final stanza between the Hornets and the Panthers on LHSN.
I would definitely say to reach out. Me personally, I know several of my classmates would be more than happy to talk, to get a text, get a phone call, get an email, whatever it may be, and just answer any questions that you have. The faculty here, they're great, but of course coming in,
Just 10 minutes left to be played, and all that stands in the way of Lynchburg proving to 4-1 on the season and having the Panthers fall to 1-6 on the year. Davis, one of 4 players for Lynchburg into double figures. Brings it across half court. Over the top, trying to feed Mimi Oliver. Goes off the glass and in. First 2 points of the fourth quarter for Lynchburg. Davis nearly able to pick off the pass. Instead, Asia Martin drops it off for Cameron Hawkins. Now a long 3 for Martin. Misses it all. Canada can't keep it in. Another stop for the Hornets defense. Now, the last bucket from Oliver. Every player but Hannah Clay that has touched the floor tonight for Lynchburg has at least 2 points. Signaling it's been a team effort all the way through. Green to Oliver. From outside the restricted circle. Back-to-back buckets for the senior from Springfield. Long two, trying to go off the glass, does Canada. Shot no good. Sever out in front. She'll finish that every time with the left hand. It's now a 28-7 advantage in fast break points. That is an astronomical mark to hit, and not only the 28 points, but to outscore an opponent by 21 points in transition. That is impressive. 30-point Hornets lead, and another stop for Lynchburg's defense. Now Reagan Moore checks in, sophomore from Aldie, Virginia. First time she's touched the hardwood tonight. We talked about it's been a while for Lynchburg since they played a game. Last contest was on the 21st of November at NC Wesleyan. We talked about that game at length already. But due to the long break, it's allowed this Lynchburg team to get healthy. Every player on the roster is suited up. Two more for Mimi Oliver. She's got 6 through just over 2 minutes of the fourth quarter. Still a 2-3 zone for Lynchburg. Marvin tries to work to the baseline, tripped up. Looks like Moore's the guilty party. First foul to go against Moore and Lynchburg in the fourth. Update on the Lynchburg men's basketball team. 62-55, just over 10 minutes to go in the second half. Hornets out in front of the Generals. Offensive rebound, and putback bucket is good for Demisha Canada. Second chance points, actually a category where Ferrum out in front now, 10-5 lead over the Hornets. Crossover from Sever. Can't finish the layup from underneath the basket. Nice Euro. Cabinets can't finish either. Poked away momentarily by Martin. Now a jump ball called as her and Gant get tangled up. It's going to stay with the Hornets. Sever at 24. 3 points away from tying her career high. But it will improve her scoring mark of 20 points per game, second most in the conference. Trying to get it back to Oliver. Well defended by Cameron Hawkins, cutting off the passing angle. Nice moves and a clean finish from Hawkins. Good for points, 49 and 50 on the night for Ferrum. Moore gets to Green, stuffed by Hawkins, or so it appeared. Foul on the play. And instead Hawkins is going to be called for foul on Aaron Green, who now steps to the free throw line. Second in scoring tonight for Lynchburg with 14. 3 for 3 from the line, and now 3 for 4. Also has 6 rebounds to go with it. She's had 8 boards in each of the last 2. Might fall short of that total tonight. She's going to check out after knocking down the second. That brings Kate Cole back on to the court. Marvin for Canada. Amongst the trees, shot left short of the iron. Nice dribble moves from Gant, but ultimately turns it over. Even numbers the other way. Cabinets down low for Hawkins. Gets past Harris. Seemingly denied by Kate Kolb, but instead, Kolb called for the foul. As Hawkins readies at the free throw line. Chance to talk about the upcoming schedule for both these teams. 3 days' time. Lynchburg will head out to Randolph-Macon. 2 p.m. tip-off there on the 4th. And are back at home a week from today, playing host to Randolph. 3 days later, big one against Roanoke on December 11th. That game also at home and going to be broadcasted on LHSN, just like next Wednesday's game against Randolph. And the upcoming slate for Ferrum. They're back at home this upcoming Saturday as well, playing host to Virginia Wesleyan. Then after that, head out to Eastern Mennonite a week from today. And they're back at home against Salem on Friday, December 12th, 6 p.m. tip there. Two sides exchange buckets. We're down to 5 minutes left in regulation. Olivia Harris with 10 points tonight. Gets it to Kolb. A couple of Panthers fall on top of one another. Now jump ball called. Ferrum has possession. Getting tangled up. Going after the loose ball was Darcy Ross. And that will send us to our under 5 minute media timeout. We'll step aside. 81-54, your score from Turner Gymnasium.
You're missing. It really don't matter to me. I'm just happy to be here. I might go crazy.
Welcome back to Lynchburg. 4:47 left to be played between the Hornets and the Panthers. Ferrum with possession coming out of the break. Martin's got 12 points, one of 3 players in double figures. Leading the way is Cavanis, who just swung it out to the far side wing. Cavanis up to 23 points. Euro step from Martin. She comes down a little awkward on her ankle. Good to see she is up and walking under her own weight. And back on the defensive side, player advantage for Lynchburg. Gant was trying to find Harris, who was the unmarked player. Instead, turnover created. Cavanis drives in. And we'll get the foul called on Darcy Ross. Cavanis 3 for 3 from the free throw line so far tonight. And at half, Cavanis at just 6 points. And then by the end of the third had the 23 she sits at now. If you're doing math at home, that's 17 points in the third quarter. Now she has our first point of the fourth. And she's now just a couple points behind Sammy Sever. Her game high mark up 26. 1 for 2 trip. Sever not on the floor right now, for those wondering on that career high watch. Sever a point shy of it. Step back trifecta. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Olivia Harris. She's got 13, 3 of 4 shooting from beyond the arc. Martin going to try to answer back with a 3 of her own and gets it. After the two teams exchange threes, stays a 26-point ball game. Moore, one of 3 players for Lynchburg without a point tonight. One of the others being Darcy Ross. Attacks the basket. Well defended, though, by the Panthers. Martin picks up the rebound. 2-on-2 the other way. Euro step. Basket and the foul for Asia Martin. Had a tough night shooting the basketball efficiently speaking. Now 6 of 18 from the field. But she's now got 17. Has the opportunity to add one more at the end of this play. Among the subs, Jada Chambers brings it across, just the second game played this year for the junior. Sat out last year. And now back on the roster, an extra guard for depth. Drives along the baseline. And we'll get the foul call. Go against Kayla Cabanis. Also checking in, and first time calling her name, Mackenzie Brundage. On the court, wearing number 11. Chambers will inbound. And Brundage is standing underneath the iron, now sets the screen for Ross. Inbound goes to Oliver. Back to Chambers. Picks up her dribble. And it's going to be a block called. And quickly 2 fouls tacked on to the total. Kayla Cabanis, she's now got 3 on the night. Jada Chambers heads to the free throw line, looking for her first points on the evening. And it'd be her first points on the season, and Chambers has it. Chambers goes 1 for 2 on her first 2 attempts. Free throw line this year. Lead stays at 25. Spin move and a beauty from Cabanis. She's now got 26. Less than 2.5 left to be played. Off the hands of Ross and out of play. And now every player on the roster for Lynchburg has touched the court. Meredith Vetter comes on, senior from Burlington, North Carolina, and of course, twin to Brooke Vetter. Meredith was just cleared yesterday after her hip surgery. Gets her first taste of playing time in her senior campaign, I beg your pardon. Cabanis steps into another 3, knocks it down. Her 5th 3-ball to go. 2:02 left in the 4th, timeout on the floor. This gives us a good opportunity to go ahead and name our LHSN player of the game, and I think as easy as it is to give it to the leading scorer, I think it's got to be Sammy Sever. 9 of 16 shooting from the field, 3 of 6 from beyond the arc, and 5 of 8 from the free throw line to go with it. 26 points, and once again, if the game were to end right now, and unless Aaron Green tallies up 12 points over the next 2 minutes, it'll become the 4th time this season through 5 games played that Sever has been the leading scorer for Lynchburg. So Sammy Sever, your LHSN player of the game. Honorable mention to Aaron Green, 15.6 rebounds. Also could throw in Lizzie Davis, 11 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists, triple-double watch there. Ran out of time to try to fully collect that triple-double. Kate Kolb, 8 rebounds to go along with 4 points. 7 boards for Sarah Johnson, just 2 points with it. Meredith Vetter, open for a moment, picks up her dribble after working into the mid-range spot. Chambers, good drive. Gets her first field goal for junior season. Yo Mangum works quickly the other way. Alexis Miller Pulls up from mid-range, leaves the shot short and out of the hands of Vetter. Kept in by Brogan Dudley. Nice play, and was able to get it away to Kara Williams. Williams on the far side wing, tries her luck with a three, leaves it strong. Vetter watches it go out of play. Also checking in, first time calling her name, Zavia Felder, junior from Maryland. Ferrum's gotten the opportunity to just about every player on the roster as well. Chambers has three, scored in the last possession for Lynchburg. It's now with Meredith Vetter. Off the screen, back to Chambers. Shot clock at 5. Long two, well short. Miller and Ross both go for the rebound. Jump ball, alternating possession. Has it stayed with the Hornets. Brenich to inbound. A little over 18 seconds between the shot and game clock. Brenich slaps the basketball. Gets it into Vetter. Right-handed layup off the mark. No foul on the play. Miller. One more pass. Williams again misses strong. Mangum and Brundage both go for the loose ball. Another jump ball called. This time possession awarded to Ferrum. Half a second differential between shot and game clock. Miller for three. Misses it all. Stops the clock with 14.1 to go. Chambers will bring it across and dribble out the remaining clock. Lynchburg improves to 4-1 in the season and starts conference play 1-0. Their next contest is in 3 days' time at Randolph-Macon. For Ferrum, the losing streak extends to 6 in a row. They're now 1-6 in the year, 0-2 in ODAC play. They also will be in action on Saturday, but they'll be at home taking on Virginia Wesleyan. Fun one to watch. Final thoughts for Ferrum. Had some moments. Went on that 11-0 run between the end of the first quarter and the beginning of the second. Overall, won the third quarter and the fourth. So Ferrum won the second half by 5 points total, and that's got to be something that Coach Brian Harvey and the rest of the staff and the team overall can look at and say, hey, well, for 20 minutes, the points show that we were the better team. And that's something they can build upon for their date with Virginia Wesleyan this upcoming Saturday. For Lynchburg, it was a total team effort. Everybody who suited up touched the hardwood, and all but 5 players of that 13 got at least 2 points. That's really impressive and something this team can continue to build upon. And it's a 3-game win streak. They're doing it on both ends of the court. They hold Ferrum to 65 points. That's a pretty impressive mark given the tempo this team will play with. And they drop 87. Sammy Sever leads the way with 26. And then 3 more players to go with it in double figures. Aaron Green with 15. Olivia Harris with 13. And Lizzie Davis nearly with a triple-double and 11 points. So overall, very strong team showing for Lynchburg and just what you want to start conference play at 1-0. But that's going to do it for us at Wayne Prophet Court. Thank you all for spending time with us this Wednesday night. For my director, Sam Rice, my name's TJ Wingard. For the rest of my fantastic LHSN broadcast crew, we are signing off.